Hello everyone, my name is Manish Kadur.
Hi, my name is Komal Salagre and I've been recently placed
The B2B SaaS company. Today I'm excited to answer the most frequently asked questions regarding placement interviews. So let's see what are the most frequently asked questions by students about the placements. The first being things to keep in mind while going through JD. Well, I think one thing that is important while going through a JD is have a broader perspective. Don't limit yourself to certain, be it locations or certain job roles. What do you think? What's your opinion on it?
Having said that, JD is also an opening for information on various sectors. For me per se, I understood the IT or the SaaS sector for the first time through my JD, wherein they explained a BDR's role with respect to the industry. Even though you might not be applying for that role or for that company, reading that JD gives you that added advantage which you can use in any other interview. So that's an advantage of JD. Another thing would be going through the JD very precisely and in detail. A lot of times we just go through it at glance and then we don't understand what our roles are, or we sometimes get miscommunicated with what our role might be and how a day would look like. So that is pretty important.
Well, let's go to the second question. You want to read it?
Most frequently asked questions during the interview. One question that I've been asked a lot of times, and earlier where I used to stumble was, do you have any questions for us? This is usually asked at the end of the interview, and we are blank or we are tired by the end of that interview and we don't know what to say. At that time, I believe this question is something that we need to prepare for before our interview starts. For this, you need to know your role and your company well. The questions have to be positive and enthusiastic. And I believe that shows that you are really interested in the company if you have an answer to that question.
I think one more frequently asked question is introduce yourself or tell me something about yourself. And I think this is one question where you can make or break the game. So this question technically involves all those pointers which you want to run through the interview. And if you do that, the ball's in your court. I think this one question is very important and you should brush up with it. Have a brief maybe 3 to 4 minutes of a brief liner and brush it through. Make sure that you don't include the resume things into this lineup. And I think you're good to go. Right?
Definitely.
Next question is, what are the stages of an interview process?
Well, for us, it was a pretty long day. It started with a PPT talk, which is pre-placement talk, wherein they talk about the industry, they talk about the company, they talk about the roles, they talk about how your promotion would look like, what your day would look like, what your year would look like. Then it transitions to a group discussion round, which later moves on towards various personal interview rounds. Usually they are technical rounds, they are HR-based rounds, and it depends. They could be 1 or 2. So it depends on the company's take there.
I guess every company has their own set of processes which they want to judge a candidate with. Sometimes there is version, sometimes there is multiple rounds of interview, and also everything starts with the CV shortlisting. First of all, of course, the CV shortlisting round, and the main round which I think students should brush up is the GD round.
Definitely.
And that's one thing where a lot of funneling happens. And
That's true.
Yes, and after that, the interview round is basically what you have to say.
GD round is also a round wherein not only your intellect is checked, but also your team spirit and leadership skills are also tested there. So that plays a crucial role.
True. Move to the next question.
Definitely.
Wanna read it?
Yes. How do mock interviews at IBS Mumbai help with placements? That's a great question. And there's a very big positive answer to that. IBS Mumbai has played a crucial role in all our lives, especially mine. When it comes to preparing for your interviews, when it comes to confidence, when it comes to intellectual knowledge, IBS Mumbai is always at the forefront. We have opportunities for ample amount of mock interviews, not just a month or two before our placements, but actually from the first year itself. So the day you enter IBS Mumbai, I feel you are being prepared for that journey of placement so that you get the best out of best. And yes, I think if I am able to crack my interview today, a major share would go to IBS because they gave me pointers not just to improve myself on a professional scale but also on a personal level, which is also graded in your PI round.
Yes, correctly. As rightly said, these mock interviews are graded and it gives a self-reflection where you stand. And also, when the interviewers give you certain feedback, it helps you a lot to understand how should you present your answers in certain roles. What are the answers that are specific to these JDs, and how should you take ahead those interviews? And I think that's the best way to understand and best way to learn. Most of the time, we sort of get nervous during interviews, and these mock interviews are the only place or only opportunity where you can brush up that thing and overcome the nervousness. I think that's one very good thing that IBS Mumbai provides as well.